So we're here in Newport with Chris from Solace Stays. He's got an Airbnb company. This is one of his latest deals. He's got 20 service accommodation deals. He started 2 years ago. Some of them he owns, some of them are rent to rent, some of them are actually ours and he managed them for us. What he's actually managed to do really well is use systems and processes to literally systemize and make the company scalable. Instead of just scaling off and straight away and just running around like a headless chicken, he's been very picky and made sure he gets everything perfect with his systems. The business basically runs without him. So yeah, let's go and have a chat with him now.
Just had a 4-night booking
on
your property.
Just
come through. And then we're straight into another week after that, so.
Oh, nice.
Looking really good now.
Yeah, it's picking up now, isn't it? What's the numbers on this deal then?
This is a rent-to-rent deal we sourced for one of our investors. It's $1,400 a month. It came partly furnished. So the furniture cost was $5K, but it would have been a lot more if it was unfurnished because it is a large house. And it's of quite a high standard. This fits into our portfolio of the location for contractors. So we're in Newport, which is a really good contractor area. The M4 is just behind us as well. So we get a lot of people staying in Bristol just because it's more cost effective. It's quicker to commute into some parts of Bristol from Newport than from one side to the other. Plus it's like a third of the cost. So that's number one. And then number two, we try and make it as nice as possible. You'd want to stay here yourself on like the weekends visiting family, or just coming to visit Wales and using it as a base. It hits both of the criteria basically, which is what we're looking for. So it's $1,400, partly furnished. We negotiate no deposit because we deal with the maintenance. There's no deposit, so it brings the cost down as well. So I think all in all, this was just under 10K investment. So we pull all the money out just over 12 months. It's a 3 years, but the landlady got no interest in running it herself. So it'll be negotiable. Yes, it should be a long term.
Have you got a break clause on that?
Yeah, so it's 12 months. So contracts are a minimum of 12 months, and after that, you have the right to exercise the right to pull out. So if it wasn't stacking up for the investor, they got the opportunity to pull out. Also, the landlady could take the property back, but it should be a long term. We've got a bit of a relationship with this landlady. I've got some in my own portfolio with them. So with the situation, she doesn't really want to get involved in being a landlady as such. So corporate contract is perfect for her. She doesn't have to do anything.
So obviously you got 20 deals, but you started only 2 years ago. So how have you started and how have you progressed into what you're doing now?
I started 2 years ago with our first rent-to-rent. So we got 3 rent-to-rents in our portfolio, and then we've actually developed a cottage into a luxury holiday let as well. We got into managing just people seeing us set our own properties up, and then they would just come into us. So it kind of just grew organically.
You just set them up proper nice, like.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to stand out a little bit from the bog standard. Like I say, our main criteria is you've got to be able to want to stay in the property yourself, and it's got to work for like the corporate. So if you can do the figures on a sort of Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday, and you can make it work, and then you get bonus weekends on top, it's like that's your extra gravy sort of profit. But when we working our figures out for our investors, we try to be really conservative on that midweek, and then it's just bonus money. If you can make it nice enough and attractive enough, people want to use it to come visit Wales. There's loads of stuff to do here, so we do get families come in to visit other family members who move away. The reason for people staying is vast. So yeah.
Well, you started with a few rent-to-rents, and then you just did you buy one, or you started taking on money?
I did one rent-to-rent. Completed that, and the next day we completed on our project, developed that, and then I took another rent-to-rent on and another one. Other people seen us, how we set them up and how we were managing them and our results, and asked us to manage their properties. We also then sourced a couple on for other people, but again, all direct to landlord. We don't really bother with agents. We find that they just deals that are brought to us via agents, very tight margins. With a direct to landlord, you can build a bit of a rapport. We generally can get a deposit wiped out because we take care of the maintenance and build a good rapport that we're going to look after the property for them. There's going to be no hassle. Once you build a bit of trust, you can negotiate the rent a bit more. But with the agents, they've got to make their cut, and they're like fighting to get the most the deal sources are fighting to get the highest rent.
Yeah.
And then it becomes very, very tight, and with the costs going up, I think it's like the best deals are definitely
one
direct to
person
landlord.
say we'll pay this rent, and the next person say we'll pay this rent, and then next.
Yeah, so you've got an agent, and they might be working with multiple deal sources, and they might show it to the investors, and whoever can come with the highest rent is going to get the deal.
Yeah.
But you have to have a deposit. Then you've got the agent's monthly fees as well, which the landlord's paying them to manage the property, but then you're managing the property on a daily basis anyway. So it's basically pointless. But you could get lots of deals through. So
that's how you done it. Is it just like Facebook ads or like direct to vendor letters?
Yeah, at one point we did we did a Facebook ads to direct to landlords, sort of offering the guaranteed rent, and build up our sort of portfolio. And then a lot of it's been word of mouth or recommendations from other landlords. Once you build a bit of a reputation, people just bring you deals.
Yeah, what would you say is like a top tip for someone who wants to get started? Well, to be honest, if you had to start again, what would you do different?
I'm perfect. No, I don't know. Well, I actually invested in a mentor who had 100 properties in the SA, so that really helped because it took out a lot of the guesswork. And give me the confidence with like the numbers. Is this property going to work? You know, having someone who's been there, done that. So we went on that route, which I think definitely sort of helped us scale up. Here's a big learning curve. Some of the stuff you got to learn, and with COVID, all the rules kept changing all the time, and the requirements for companies. So we started in Newport, basically based on the contractor market. Hotels were closed, which was a plus at the start. You couldn't have anyone sort of staying for leisure. So we built our business solely on that market. That's carried through. Like I said, that's our main business. And then we just use like the extra weekends as a bonus. We definitely would go for an area that's got a high contractor, corporate market, definitely.
Obviously, at the moment, you've got sort of the business sort of runs without you. Obviously, you've got bits to do, and you want to grow it and scale it. But how have you where have you got it to, and how have you done that sort of thing?
At the start, basically, I did every job role. So we did like spot checking the cleaners, maintenance, all the guest communication. It was manageable with a couple of properties, but as you scale and grow, I basically sat myself on each role. We've got a maintenance team, we've got a spot checking team, we've got a cleaning team. The cleaners will go in and then we'll actually double check. We'll go around and check and report any maintenance. That's generally done on a Monday and a Wednesday, which are our busiest changeover days. Everything else is like systemised, so we've got someone who does guest communications, all the bookings, obviously we use our software. We've got software for taking deposits and security and ID, so we can verify our guests when they come in. Ring cameras on most of our properties, and the large properties that could have more likely to have parties, we've got like the minute alarms, sound sensors. Pretty much everything's either run via software or we've got like a team member in place, and then we're just managing it for us. As me and my wife now basically manage it, and then we got time to focus on other areas as well. She does like the interior design and setups, so she'll plan it all out, and then our team comes in, sets it all up. It takes about a week to 2 weeks depending on the property to get it all listed and live. But yeah, we've had to grow that organically as we add more and more properties. And it becomes unmanageable. Then you need to either a new system in place to make it more efficient, or another team member.
What would you say are the top softwares that you use to systemise your business?
So your channel manager is the most important one. So we use Guesty, which is one of the leading in the market. Channel manager is basically will collect all your booking data, it's all your communication, so we can link all your other OTAs, which is like booking.com, our website bookings, direct bookings, booking.com, all in one place. So manage the calendar, manage the communications.
If someone books a week on booking.com, it will just block off all the other calendars and all the other sites.
Yes, it was update, and then it'll update on there, so it kind of, it's like your main hub. The second one we use is recommended Duve, and that takes deposits for our OTAs like Booking.com and Direct, where you're not covered by Airbnb. You don't really need a deposit with our Airbnb bookings. Also takes ID, so you can check it's all official, and that helps against fraud. They won't actually get sent the check-in details until it's all completed, so DUV needs to be ticked off through the guest check-in procedures before they get the information, which is great for last-minute bookings and stuff. And then our third one is Beyond Pricing we use, and that's it's like dynamic pricing software. So if your calendar's looking a bit empty, it'll drop the price. If you're booking in the future, it's higher, it will...
so is that a bit like Price Labs?
Exactly like Price Labs, yeah. So it's like competitor to Price Labs. So it will pick up on any events. If it's really busy in an area, it'll put the price up because demand's higher. So you get the most bang for your buck. So all our properties are self-check-in. Once they've filled in the check-in, terms and conditions, ID, deposit, they get sent all the check-in information, and it's self-check-in. Makes it nice and easy and smooth for the guest.
So what is it you still got to do, like, or do you just sit on a beach all day? No, it's still constant. It's still constant work because we're juggling, quite a lot of things. We're managing all the properties, we're sourcing properties and develop properties as well. So there's always plenty to do. But we've just tried to concentrate on slow organic growth because we manage properties for other people. Obviously, it's a big responsibility. So rather than just saying yes to everything and having the workload sort of overwhelm us so we can't actually perform, we've tried to be organically grow. I think that's the problem with most people doing this sort of thing. They try and scale too fast, they ain't got the systems in place, and then it all just comes falling behind. They're robbing whatever it is, Pete to pay Paul, whatever the saying is, but it ends up all just falling to pieces. The
biggest thing in business I've found over the years is learning to say no. It's so easy to say yes, you're thinking of the money, and then it just can spiral out of control where you haven't got control of the business. You should always have control of the business. So that's the one thing, a valuable lesson I've learned the hard way over the past.
That the hard way as well.
You can't say yes to everything. Saying no is the most valuable asset. People respect the no as well. You take on nice properties like this that tick all the boxes rather than just stuff that's going to be hard to maintain all the time, cause you problems, or you're not going to get the occupancy you need, and then you're just going to have investors sort of chasing you down. We're having to work a lot harder right now than we did this time last year to get the same rates and the same occupancy. But because we're not overwhelmed with the workload, we can put time in to grow in it and develop in like different strategies to
if you can get it working in a not great market, it's going to be good when it's in a good market, and so a lot of people probably have just thought, it's so easy, it's so good, but it was just a hot market, and now they're probably coming unstuck. Do you know what I mean? So you need to be able to implement new tactics, not just do the same thing you did last year. It's not going to work. You're going to have to get an extra 20-30%, you're going to have to put another 20-30% into growing it. So that's what we're focusing on at the moment, which has kind of worked out well. We've got to this point where we can work on the business rather than in the business. Because if we were still working in the business, we wouldn't be able to do that. Where can I find you, and what's next for you?
So our management company is Solace Stays, so Instagram and Facebook to Solace Stays. SolaceStays.co.uk is our website for direct bookings and more information on our management and deal sourcing, etc., and guaranteed rents. My personal is Chris Blackwell Property. That's my Instagram. So we put a lot of content on there.